Hey, gorgeous. Blimey, have I missed you, ladies? It has been over a week now, a week since last Monday that I've had any real genuine contact with you all, and I miss you so much after the challenge because I got to know you really well and we got to know one another really well. So, the 1,000 Women Show is a spin-off from the live challenge. I wanted to be able to come in and spend some time with you once a week to get really focused in on how you can grow your business speaking online. Because of course, this is what this community is all about. And some good news for you luscious divine ladies who didn't do the challenge the first time around. By popular request or popular demand, or whatever the terminology is, I'm going to be running it again. The first week of March, I think that is the 4th of March. It's going to give new members the opportunity to join the challenge, and also members that were here historically but didn't have time to engage and do it. So I'm running it again the first week of March. So we all have something to look forward to. And the good thing is, for you luscious women who already embrace the visibility challenge, is that you'll be able to do it again at the points where you feel that you needed to invest a bit more time. So you can continue your journey. So today I want to talk about stinky money mindset. Right, let me just have a look at my chat window to see what's going on. I'm having to multitask between screens, which is a bit of a pain in the arse, but yeah. Okay, so I want to talk about stinky money mindset. And what I'm going to do is this is a masterclass that I prepared for the Virtual Speaking Academy a couple of months ago. Actually, it would have been early January. So I'm going to split this live show into 2 sections. But this is the first in a weekly show for members specifically of this community. I'm just live streaming into the group. What I'm going to do though, and I'll explain why I'm doing this in a second, is I'm going to read from the slides because it will help me keep on focus, keep on point, and keep on track, because we've only got 30 minutes this morning. So your time is valuable, my time is valuable. So I want to get right into the meat of the conversation. So today is focused in on how to change a stinky money mindset and charge what it is you are worth. For those of you who don't know me, I am Wendy Keir. I mentor committed female entrepreneurs who are established in the marketplace, have a message that makes an impact, but they're not generating any sales online. I coach them to confidently step into their visibility, attract more clients in a way that is simple, fun, and feminine. And come on, who doesn't want that? Way too much masculinity online these days. Okay, so today you're going to discover how I went from struggling to get people to pay just £49 for a monthly membership website to bringing in premium clients that have brought me in over £8,250 in revenue alone since December 2017 in a way that is simple, fun, and feminine. So I'm going to share with you what's been happening with my stinky money mindset and how I've been able to address that now and move forward and, boost the growth of my business significantly. So I've moved from a struggling businesswoman, which will be a shock for some people because they've always thought of me as being financially successful, into a thriving business. So this is how the live show is going to run this morning. Now, if anyone wants a copy of the slides, just let me know and I will personally DM them for you. So the reason why I use slides is because I am dyslexic. Remembering information is very, very difficult for me when there's a lot of information and I've got to digest it and spit it back out again in terms of speaking. It's literally impossible. So my slides enable me to keep you on track. What I would say, if it irritates you and you don't like it, just leave, because this is how I deliver, this is my style, and it's not going to change. And the last thing I want to do is receive messages saying that it just isn't good enough, because you'll instantly be removed from the group. Trust me, it does happen. So it happens less because I actually address it head on when I am speaking these days. Now, because I'm using my slides, I can't see the comments that you're posting. So what I will do in the slides, when I'm talking, I'm going to come to you. So I'm going to come off the slides and I'm going to be able to see the interaction that is in the group. So, you know, have a chat with one another. As I'm talking, share your aha moments, you know, anything that resonates with you, any points that you feel that our community could learn from. This is a very supportive community of women who all have one another's backs. It's not a spammy community. It is a safe group where women support one another. So tag one another in, have conversations with one another, DM one another, connect with one another, you know, and embrace this community for its true value, which is about connection and learning. If you're watching the replay, just tag me in, let me know you're watching. It's always nice to know that people are watching the replay. And as I said, share your learning with other people. Just tag in as you're going along if you want to have a conversation with somebody. Okay, so I'm going to get, as I said, I've broken this down into two sections. I'm going to do the next one, next week, which is about charging what you're worth and creating premium packages. But today I want to get focused in on my mindset, because without your mindset and with a stinky money mindset and without not addressing your mindset, there is absolutely no point in doing anything, because you can create a premium program, but all that's going to happen is you're going to get tripped up with your own money story. So I wanted to do this first so you could get to know me on a much more personal level, because I'm going to share some personal stuff with you, but also it sets the context for moving forward in terms of whatever it is you do, speaking online and creating your services and your programs. And if I can help you shift a stinky money mindset, I will be a very happy girly. Okay, so a bit about me. My default money mindset always brings back to poverty and surviving. I was taken into care when I was very young. My parents were both alcoholics. I went through the care system, numerous foster placements, later went into an adoptive placement which broke down. I then was thrown out into the world at about 15 and a half, 16, with very little education, and my communication skills weren't there, and also the whole money story, I came from a severe place of lack, so I always struggled. So my mindset always flips back to a place of severe lack, so I have to deal with it on a daily basis. One of the things I did conquer much earlier on is I met my partner, Steve, 18 years ago. Sucker. But, you know, we worked through a lot of emotional stuff. So I was able to, you know, resolve the warmth and the love from Steve. But I still had this huge money story playing out in my life, which I just did not understand what was going on. Everybody else seemed to have money apart from me. I just couldn't seem to be able to get my hands on it in my business. I was working extremely hard. We'll go into this a little bit later. What I have always been really, really good at is investing in my own education. So even though I'd come from quite a disruptive background and dysfunctional background, I managed to get myself a job that was paying $47,000 a year, which isn't bad for a kid that comes out of care, because I think, I don't even know what the stats are, but most of us end up in prison, unfortunately. But I've always been really good at investing in my own education, even though it's been a struggle. So I've always self-funded myself to be able to develop and grow. But I left my job and I started a business, and I always seem to hit this ceiling of about £10,000 or £11,000 a year. And I couldn't break it, and I could never understand why I was earning so little when I could see my competitors doing so well and earning so much. And I know this is actually shocking for members of my community, because they've always looked at me as being very successful and financially secure. To me, this just goes to show what an illusion our own money stories can be, and the projection of our own money story that we put on somebody else. But here's the problem. Here's how it manifested itself and played out in my business. And it's one of the reasons I have struggled for such a long time. Beautifuls, if anyone's commenting in the comment box, I will come back to you in a second. If you've got any aha moments, put them in there. If you want to have a conversation with somebody, just tag them in and continue the conversation. Anything that you think is relevant to the stinky money mindset story, please do share it. It's just I'm looking at slides at the moment, so I can't actually see what's going on, but I will flip over and come to you in a second. So I haven't forgotten you. I just have a very different way of working when it comes to online. Okay, so this is the problem. This is how it manifested itself in my business for me as a female entrepreneur. Basically, what I started to do is I believed it when someone said to me, I don't have any money. They would say it and I just think, it's true, it's absolutely true, they don't have any money. So what I started to do, and many of us start to do online, because it's a bit of an epidemic, is that I started to reduce the size of my programs. I started to reduce my fees. I made everything super cheap, because I believed that people couldn't afford what it is I had to offer. And basically, all this did, and I'm sure this is familiar because I've spoken to many women who share a very similar story, is that it left me burnt out. I was spending more and more time on creating courses, because I learned that if one person bought one course, they'd buy another course. So I then got sucked into this whole ideology of create a bank of courses and people will buy the lot. So but what that did is it left me well and truly stuck on the hamster wheel. Also, I started to hide myself behind my own content, and basically I lost my value. I started to think of my value as equal to a PDF or equal to a course, which isn't the reality at all, as we'll find out a little bit later on. But I really believed that people, when they said it, that they had no money, that I believed that they had no money. And I also had this mindset coming from a place of lack that reinforced what people were saying to me. And it was also being reinforced by the online world, because people are consistently saying, break your expertise, create a course, off you go. It's total bullshit, by the way. Oops. So what happened is all of this was going on. I was running around on the hamster wheel. I just wasn't prepared to speak to people. I'd actually avoid speaking to people around the sales conversation. So I completely removed myself out of the sales equation. Now, here's the truth about internet marketing and marketing online. And if you get sucked into the lies and deceit, the vortex that you get sucked into when you go online, it will absolutely eat you alive and take all of your energy. It will feed into your money story of lack. You'll end up burnt out. It will also happily take all of your money because, of course, you don't know what it is you're doing. And it will suck the life out of you and your business, and you'll basically end up playing a very small game. And it is not why you came into business in the first place. You came into business to impact people's lives, to impact people's business and personal lives, to make a difference, to show them your worth. But if you go down this rabbit warren and this vortex, unless you've got a team to help you manage those digital courses, then I think personally, actually, you're just wasting your time, because I believe that the funnel is broken. So, lots of women have been sold a lie. They've been told that they can go online and easily sell digital products and courses. All they need to do is go into Facebook groups and interact with people to generate sales. They need landing pages, tripwires, funnels, websites. List goes on and on, right? It's endless. Let me tell you, as I've already said, it is a load of And it's worse for us as women, because we naturally like to nurture, help people, support other women. It's part of our nature. But to run programs like this, and it's something I learned from the Virtual Speaking Academy, is you need a big budget and you need a team of experts to help you manage it, so you don't get stuck in the admin of your business. And I talk a lot about the wax of your business. And what often happens for business owners is that they get stuck in the wax of the candle. But where they actually want to be is in the flame. Oh, I can't do it. In the flame. They want to be in the bright element of the candle, the part that is shining the brightest, the sparkliest, the most attractive, the place that brings people in. If you get stuck into this whole digital process, what happens is, if you don't have a team, you get stuck in the wax. So you basically, you might go up a little bit and then you'll be slipping back down again, and then you go up a little bit. But you're basically stuck in the wax of the business, and that's because you're too involved in the detail and you haven't got a digital team managing the distribution, I guess, of your online courses. And, I know this to be true because this is what happened to me in 2017 when I launched the Virtual Speaking Academy. We have a bit of a storm here. I don't know if you heard that. But it sounded like something just crashed into the balcony. So what I did was I set, because I believed that nobody had any money and this was the way to do it, I set a low entry point for the Virtual Speaking Academy between £7 and £30. Now, the Academy, itchy nose, all right. The Academy has over £5,000 worth of premium training in it. Not just training from me, but also training from other experts who are speaking from the stage and speaking online. So it was a collaboration of us as experts that came together to deliver premium training. And what I learned from that experience was that women didn't want the digital courses. they didn't want the training material. What they wanted was the live sessions. So we also ran 3 live sessions, but it was actually 4 live sessions at the time. We ran 4 live sessions, one where you could practice your online speaking skills, one where you could bring in a problem and have it masterminded around specifically in relation to speaking. One was expert speaker training online. Can't remember what the other one was, but basically we had 4 live sessions, and women would turn up for the live sessions but didn't want any of the training resources. They never accessed it because the online training funnel doesn't work. It isn't what people want unless you've got a team and an awful lot of money to invest in it. So what started to happen is I was working really, really hard before Christmas. I was heading towards burnout, and it started to have a real impact on my mental health because I'd completely devalued what it is I was doing. And that stinky money mindset and running around on the hamster wheel was all to do with my history, to do with being taken into care, going into care, being shoved out into the big wide world, not being able to communicate with people, not understanding what money was. A little story about me was that I just didn't understand what money was. So I would go into a shop and I would buy 1 item at a time. So I'd have to shop for myself for the week. And what I would have to do is, because I didn't understand what money was, I'd have to go into the shop, buy 1 item, come out. So I knew that I had enough money to go back in and buy something else. And that is literally what I used to do when I came out of care. I would buy 1 thing at a time and then go back in and buy something else again, until I learned the real value of money and how to use it. So can you see how that pattern has followed me on a journey? I'm 48, 49 now. I can't remember, 48 or 49. I think I prefer 48. I'm 48. Has followed me all of my life up until just before Christmas, where I changed things considerably. But what happened was I started to wonder if I was cut out to be a businesswoman, if I could really, if I could really succeed, if I just wasn't cut out for it, because I just couldn't get the whole money piece because of the poverty mindset, my own money story. How scary is that, right? I just couldn't see it. So what I learned from the Virtual Speaking Academy and its members is that they value the live stuff the most, hence the creation of this group. The courses and the content they can access, but they've never done it. They're not interested in it. They just want the human connection. They want to be held accountable. They want to know that you have their back, that you are truly there for them. Okay, I am just flipping screens over because I want to ask you to think about your money story. What's your money story? So just take a second now to actually think, okay, what's my money story? How does it play out for me in my business? Just going to make sure while you're thinking about your own money story that I don't have any questions that have come in. And not that I can see. Hokey cokey. So I am going to continue, and I want to continue with the whole illusion of money and how I learnt that my whole money story was just a complete illusion and not to be listened to. As I said, I have to work on this every day. But so, I started to have conversations with women on the when I was enrolling them. So I'd have strategy calls, and women would be saying that I can't afford it, I have no money. So what's interesting about this is when I was having these conversations and we got to the part of I have no money, I just believed it. I bailed out. Big mistake. I absolutely should not have done that. But there's no hiding online, is there? You know, I'm connected to all of these women online on their business and their personal pages. So what I started to notice was that this whole conversation around I have no money was a complete illusion, because I noticed that one of the women I spoke to spent, you know, £1,000 on a spa treatment. Someone else had flown across the other side of the world. Someone else had bought a 5K program. Someone else was on another tropical holiday around the world. And honestly, it was like being slapped in the face with a wet fish. I couldn't believe it. But that was my money story running through my mindset by actually not taking responsibility for understanding why it is they're saying that they have no money. So I believed people just couldn't afford it. So the lesson was for me was that I shouldn't have changed my services to fit in with them. It wasn't that they couldn't afford it. And you'll hear people saying this all the time. What had happened is I hadn't shown them the real value of what it is I have to offer. And that's my biggest mistake. I absolutely own that. That is mine to embrace. So the solution is, firstly, you have to become aware of a stinky money mindset and that you have one and how it plays out. So you need to look at the costs of your services and your programs and see if you're running around like a blue-ass fly. And if you're constantly hearing that story of, I just can't afford it, I have no money, then it's time to start working on a stinky money mindset. I go into great detail on this subject with my clients, because they recognize it in me and they recognize that I can take them through that process, basically. So the solution is to really challenge yourself and to bring in a consistent flow of sales each month. So basically, you have to have a very clear enrollment process, one that enables you to show the real value that you have to offer. Now, this is not an hour-long coaching call where you give somebody tips, hope they'll buy, and then have a second coaching call. This is not what it is. If you coach on a sales call, you will absolutely reduce your sales conversions. In fact, you could even stop the possibility of that sale because you're coaching on the call. My setup, you don't coach on the call. Avoid it, avoid it, avoid it. I tell all my clients, do not coach. My strategy calls can take anywhere from an hour to an hour and a half, because what we do is we look at their current situation from a holistic perspective and how it impacts on their business and their life. So we're not just taking one element out, it's basically what is really going on, what is the impact. How it's stopping them from achieving what it is that they want to achieve. And also those calls are solution focused in line with an outcome, which increases the conversion of the conversation. So my question to you is, do you have an enrollment process that enables you to convert high paying clients consistently? I just want to hop across to my screen. Let's have a look. Okay, got no questions coming in from what I can see. It's a really, really important question, because as I said, I started to hide behind everything that I was doing online. I removed myself from the sales conversation. You have no business. If you cannot sell, you have no business. or you will struggle for a very long period of time, like I did. So in my impact program, what we do is I go through with my clients an enrollment process step by step. And basically, we tailor it to each individual business. So it's unique. The set of questions and the process is unique to that individual and their business. So it's not my script, but it is my process. So what that does is it enables you to have a higher conversion, more premium clients paying a higher price, because you're going to start looking at the whole money mindset piece. Also, what I like to do is hold people's hands when things go a bit Pete-tong, and they can on discovery calls, and they will, and you need to expect it to go a bit Pete-tong, but I'm always there to have your back. It's one thing I really like doing. So what I wanted to do for women who are members of the groups, and some awesome divine women have already taken these opportunities up, that is to grab a 1,000 Women Boost Your Business Strategy call. Basically, what I've done is I've set up an hour-long call, which will help you basically pull out how you can attract 3 and 5, even 10 premium clients within the next 90 days. So what I will do on that call is I will share powerful tips to help you reach a wider audience and to make an impact, which is quick and easy. Let me leave you with this thought, and that is, it is absolutely our responsibility. If you do this, this is great, but this is where my stinky money mindset played a massive role for me, and it's basically crippled my business for the last 8-9 years because I haven't realized what's going on. And that is, it's absolutely your responsibility. When somebody says, I have no money, it's for you to not judge and to unpick it the best way you can in that given situation. It's for, if someone is truly interested in your services and they want to work with you, it then becomes your responsibility to help them see how they can work with you. What's the possibility? You don't want to just go, oh, they've got no money, right, fine, and leave it at that. You want to work with them, to work with you, to get to that point where they say yes. Your responsibility, not to buckle like I used to do. I don't anymore. Get on a call and you'll find out. So that's my stinky money mindset journey. And if that resonates with you, just put some comments in the box. I would love to know about your stinky money mindset story and any insights that you have, any challenges that you faced. Tag one another in, have conversations with one another about this subject. Next week, what I'm going to do is I am going to talk around how to charge what it is you're worth by creating premium programs. But without this foundation, you are not going to be able to create premium programs, because what will happen is you will sabotage the success of selling a premium program. This bit of work has to be done first. So thank you for listening to the first live show. Big thanks as well if you are watching the replay. Remember, share your aha moments. Watch your stinky money mindset. Watch how it plays out. Now I've had this conversation with you and you've heard what it is I have to say, just watch yourself. Sometimes you have to hear what other people are saying for it to come into the conscious awareness of you being able to recognize what's going on. Well, at least that's how it happens for me anyway. Take time to connect and support one another in the group, and I will see you for next week's show, which is about charging what you are worth and creating premium programs. All right then, gorgeous. Until next week, have an absolutely awesome day.